live in the communities we serve, so you get the answers you need now.
King Charles III, the historic day. Thousands gather as he and Camilla enter Buckingham Palace for the first time as king and queen. TV personality Amanda Holden joining the mourners.
Just gut-wrenching.
Kate in dark glasses. She's now a princess. And Harry, all alone as he returns to London on a commercial flight.
The King's olive branch to Meghan and Harry.
Then the new royal order of succession.
The tributes pouring in.
From the NFL opening game to the U.S. Open.
We'd like to pause to remember Queen Elizabeth II.
To the Harry Styles concert.
Join me in a round of applause.
And Funny Lady.
Oh, really? Please.
The Queen's wicked sense of humor.
I keep mine in here.
And what will become of her precious corgis?
What's not to love about the cute little corgi?
A special Inside Edition. Farewell to the Queen. Long live the King. Now, Inside Edition with Deborah Norville.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us. Great Britain is officially in mourning. For the next 10 days, the country will mark the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And in his first public act as king, King Charles III, the former Prince of Wales greeted the crowd that had gathered outside the gates of Buckingham Palace to honor the Queen. Jim Murray begins our coverage.
King Charles and his Queen consort Camilla returned to Buckingham Palace in a motorcade through London today. In a spectacular moment, the 73-year-old king left his Rolls-Royce to shake hands with the masses gathered outside the palace. One woman even kissed him on the cheek. But he took it in good humor. It's an indication he plans to bring a personal human touch to his reign. CBS News correspondent Holly Williams was there.
What was your reaction to this spectacular scene when the crowd greeted King Charles?
It was just extraordinary, wasn't it? I think that we were witnessing this really profound moment in history. You know, the new king, King Charles III, Queen consort Camilla, it's still so extraordinary to hear them called that, arrived to sort of greet these crowds outside of Buckingham Palace. Really amazing scenes.
Inside Edition also spoke with TV personality Amanda Holden, who paid her respects to the late monarch, Queen Elizabeth. She says King Charles has trained his whole life for this moment.
I honestly think that we as a nation are looking now for someone to put their arms around us, and I think that King Charles III is the man for the job. I think that we are hugely respectful of our Queen, and I think we want to fulfill her wishes. You know, she wanted us to embrace her son. He'll be a different kind of king, a very modern one, but I feel like he's totally ready for the job.
King Charles held his first meeting with his Prime Minister Liz Truss and shared about his loss.
It's a moment I've been dreading.
And the new king spoke for the first time as monarch.
I too now solemnly pledge myself, throughout the remaining time God grants me, to uphold the constitutional principles at the heart of our nation.
Hundreds of millions watched around the world as he gave a somber address on British TV. And he offered an olive branch to his feuding son, Harry.
I want also to express my love for Harry and Meghan as they continue to build their lives overseas.
For a downcast Prince Harry, it was a lonesome return to London. He was the last to arrive at the Queen's Castle in Scotland, too late to bid her goodbye, and was first to leave.
Harry's come back separately on a commercial flight, which is a bit strange.
Harry boarded a commercial flight, carrying his own backpack, pausing to comfort an airport worker. His American wife, Meghan Markle, stayed in London, fearing her criticisms of the royal family made her unwanted, according to the BBC.
She might not be terribly warmly welcomed, to be perfectly candid about it.
DailyMail.com female editor Charlie Langston.
Harry and Meghan are no longer working members of the royal family. Now, the interesting thing will be where Harry and Meghan are placed in terms of seating at the funeral.
This is the first glimpse of Kate in black and wearing dark glasses. She drove herself from Windsor Castle. It was a day of somber pomp and circumstance. There were coordinated gun salutes across London, 96 volleys, one for every year of the Queen's life. The soulful bells of Windsor Castle, only rung on the death of a monarch, tolled for the first time in 70 years. Other great bells across London joined the solemn chorus. The Queen's death dominated the front pages of newspapers in Britain and the U.S., marking the end of an era. Now that Charles is king, there are big changes in the line of succession. William is next in line to the throne, and he and Kate become Prince and Princess of Wales. Their children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, become second, third, and fourth in line of succession. Prince Harry moves to fifth, and his children, Archie and Lilibet, become Prince and Princess. They are sixth and seventh. But it may be generations before there is another queen.
It's going to be maybe 150 years from now, if we ever get another female in that line. So it's a huge adjustment. Having a feminine leader does make you feel like she's the mother of the country.
The Queen will lie in state in Westminster for 4 days next week. Her funeral will take place in Westminster Abbey in 10 days' time, and she'll be buried next to her late husband, Prince Philip, whose funeral she attended last April. Britain is now a nation in mourning, but one comforted by the accession of a new king who, judging by this extraordinary scene, is already developing the common touch.
Today, President Biden, seen here with the First Lady, left flowers at the British Embassy in D.C. He announced that he will be traveling to London for the Queen's funeral. And even though she was 96, for many around the world, the Queen's death comes as a shock. Here in this country, even the most American of pastimes, professional sports, stopped to pay tribute. Stephen Fabian has details.
The death of Queen Elizabeth is triggering intense grief in America. There was a tribute at the NFL season opener in Los Angeles last night.
Please join in a moment of silence in the memory of Queen Elizabeth, whose message of unity and peace inspired people throughout the world.
The U.S. Open also held a moment of silence before the start of last night's match.
We'd like to pause to remember Queen Elizabeth II.
Harry Styles shared his feelings with the crowd at Madison Square Garden.
From my homeland, some very sad news today, the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. Please join me in a round of applause for 70 years of service.
Elton John paid tribute at his concert in Toronto.
We celebrate her life tonight with music, okay?
The lights of the Empire State Building shone purple and silver in Queen Elizabeth's honor. In L.A., City Hall was lit red. The late-night shows paid their respects.
As a talk show host, you often get asked the question, who would be your dream guest? My answer was always the Queen.
And it really hit home for British-born James Corden.
She was universally adored. She represented good in this world, living a life of honor.
Barbra Streisand posted, she was a constant for us all, respected around the world. May she rest in peace. Diana Ross, who performed outside Buckingham Palace during the Platinum Jubilee celebrations in June, tweeted she devoted her life to her country and to the service of others. Even Russian tyrant Vladimir Putin paid tribute to the Queen. Elizabeth II rightfully enjoyed the love and respect of her subjects. Flight attendants wiped away tears as the pilot announced the news of the Queen's death mid-air. Over the decades, the Queen endeared herself to so many Americans. She saw the UK's special relationship with America as key to her reign, and nothing proved that more than what she did in the immediate wake of the September 11th terrorist attacks. That's when she ordered the Coldstream Guards Band to play the Star-Spangled Banner.
In the UK, as news of the Queen's death broke, 33 million television viewers tuned in to watch the coverage. That is literally half the country. And though she may have kept that famous stiff upper lip, Queen Elizabeth loved a good joke, and her sense of humor was often on display during her reign.
There was nothing stiff or stuffy about this queen. She actually had a killer sense of humor.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister of Canada, for making me feel so old.
The Queen seemed to have a natural gift for comic timing.
There is a knife there. This one? There is a knife if you want. I know there is.
As world leaders gathered for a photo shoot, she quipped.
Are you supposed to be looking as if you're enjoying it?
Yes, definitely.
Being the most famous woman in the world means you'll get parodied a lot.
Austin Powers.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
There were other moments from the Queen that delighted her subjects.
Good evening, Swan.
She appeared alongside Daniel Craig's James Bond during the opening of the London Olympics 10 years ago. What an entrance! The Queen loved the reaction from the crowd when she then walked into the Olympic Stadium.
Her Majesty the Queen.
Daniel Craig spoke about it with Stephen Colbert.
We were having our photographs taken, and she just went, "Oh no, he's the one that doesn't smile." Fair enough.
That's nice. Yeah, nice crack.
Thank you for having me.
And there was this sweet moment from just 3 months ago. The Queen with Paddington Bear during her Platinum Jubilee celebration.
I always keep one for emergencies.
So do I. I keep mine in here.
The skit was also touching.
Thank you for everything.
That's very kind.
And then there was the time when protesters pelted the Queen with eggs. She was on an official trip to New Zealand, and she quipped, "I prefer my eggs for breakfast." In so many of the pictures of Her Majesty, you can see her right there with her beloved corgis, a breed of dogs she's had since she was a young girl, and they were with her till the end. Let's trend on what's next for the royal pooches.
They were Queen Elizabeth's royal soft spot, her beloved corgis. The short-haired pooches were the Queen's steadfast companions for nearly 8 decades. From meetings with dignitaries to photo ops, the corgis were always by the Queen's side.
These corgis definitely had a front seat to history just alongside the Queen. They saw everyone who came through the palace to meet the Queen.
It all started with Susan, gifted to the Queen on her 18th birthday. The lucky dog even tagged along on her honeymoon with Prince Philip. The Queen went on to own more than 30 dogs during her reign, most of them descending from Susan. From Susan came 14 generations of corgis. Susan birthed Sugar and Honey. Further down the corgi family tree came Shadow and Minnie. Willow was the last corgi to descend from Susan. Prince Harry revealed his grandmother's dogs had been barking at him his entire life.
This one walks in absolutely nothing.
Just laying on my feet during tea. It was very sweet.
What's not to love about the cute little corgi? With their calm demeanor and loyal personality, they are the perfect companion, fit for a queen. Donna Lewis runs Hudson Valley Corgis in New York.
What do you think that the Queen has done for people's love of these dogs?
If it wasn't for the Queen, the average person would know about the corgi.
Queen Elizabeth left behind 4 dogs. So, what will become of the remaining royal pups?
A couple of the dogs were gifts from her son, Prince Andrew. So it remains to be seen where they will go, but we know they're still so loved within the family.
And in fact, the Queen herself is credited with creating a breed of dog called the Dorgie. That's a mix between a dachshund and a corgi. We'll have more on the death of Queen Elizabeth II right after this.
Next, food fit for a queen. Wait till you hear what she ate for breakfast.
Did she ask for scrambled eggs?
Never. Then, run for Eliza. The city stops and pays tribute to the beloved kindergarten teacher slain during her morning jog.
We're out here today to honor Eliza.
Plus, long live the king. Inside Edition with Deborah Norville. We'll be right back.
Who says you have to spend more on skincare to get results? I power up my skin with Olay. It works, guaranteed. Try niacinamide for strength, retinol 24 for smoothness, and vitamin C for brightness. I like to use them all. Olay, face anything.
Brushing alone is not enough. Take a closer look. That gunk left behind is alive. String floss is not the answer. There's an easier, more effective way. The Waterpik Water Flosser, recommended by 9 to 10 dentists. It's flossing made easy.
I can't
take my eyes off my eyes.
My go-to is Lumify eye drops.
Lumify dramatically reduces redness.
In 1 minute.
And look at the difference.
My eyes look brighter and whiter.
For up to 8 hours.
It was love at first sight.
With Lumify. See for yourself.
When our daughter and her kids moved in with us, our bargain detergent couldn't keep up.
Turns out it's mostly water.
So we switched back to Tide. One wash, stains are gone.
Don't pay for water. Pay for clean. It's gotta be Tide.
Shop online, on the app, to our cart, to your car, or your door. For every healthy, for every moment. Stop and Shop. Feed the moment.
My grandfather flew B-24 bombers in World War II, even survived being shot down. I'm Mikey Sherrill. Growing up, I wanted that same sense of mission, serving something bigger than myself. I graduated from the Naval Academy at Annapolis and flew Navy helicopters. Now, in Congress, putting country over party is my mission, working with everyone to lower your taxes, your everyday costs, because my mission is serving you. And that's why I approve this message.
Every moment in life is a bet, like betting on how spicy the atomic wings really are. But life doesn't offer you $150 in free bets when you bet just 5. So when it comes to the NFL, bet on FanDuel and make every moment more.
Don't miss the Hot Tub and Swim Spa Blowout Expo this weekend at the New Jersey Convention Center. Browse the largest display of hot tubs and swim spas in the region from 5 major brands and up to 50% off. That's this weekend at the New Jersey Convention Center in Edison. Visit SpaExpo.com. That's SpaExpo.com.
This week, Stop and Shop for great deals. 80% lean ground beef or I-round roast are $2.99 per pound with a digital coupon. Coca-Cola mini cans 10-pack or buy 2, get 1 free. Plus, now get locked-in savings for weeks. Look for our new deal lock tags throughout the store. Stop and Shop. Feed the moment.
Closed caption sponsorship for Inside Edition is brought to you by
Bingo. Wait, bingo is bingo also in French?
Mary?
So, bingo is bingo everywhere. You know you make me want to shout. Everywhere is bingo. San Antonio, bingo. In the East, it's bingo. Let's play now. Come on, get that bingo through. Let's all together shout. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Download Bingo Blitz and join millions of players from all over the world. It's free.
the woman who was raped by her husband. Next, Inside Edition. He even cross-examined her at his trial.
You raped me.
Exclusive. What was it like coming face-to-face with him in court when he acted as his own lawyer?
I wasn't going to back down.
Then, will Meghan Markle be welcomed by the royals as they mourn Queen Elizabeth? Watch the next Inside Edition.
Last Friday morning around 4:30, Eliza Fletcher was kidnapped and killed while jogging in Memphis. And today, 1 week later, at the exact same time, a huge crowd ran the same route in memory of the slain teacher and mother of two.
The crowd started gathering in the pre-dawn hours. The moon hung over them. They were about to embark on a bittersweet 4:30 a.m. run.
We're out here today to honor Eliza.
This was for Eliza Fletcher, the 34-year-old kindergarten teacher and mother of two who was kidnapped and killed during an early morning run through Memphis.
We're just gonna run like we should run every morning.
Eliza's friends wanted to turn their grief into action, so they organized this run, and hundreds showed up.
I want to thank everyone for coming out here. I never thought that this is something that would be so big.
There were hugs. There were signs, walking for Liza. Finish Liza's run. Cyclists also came to show their support. Before they started, a poignant moment of silence for the slain woman. Then the 8.2-mile run began. The cyclists alongside runners, a beautiful show of solidarity. Many of them stopped and lit candles at the spot where Eliza was abducted.
What happened to her was just unimaginable, and we just felt like, as being part of the run community, that we just had to be here to support her.
I refuse to be fearful. I refuse.
Funeral services for Ms. Fletcher will be held tomorrow at the same church where she met and married her husband. We'll be back right after this.
Still to come, food fit for a queen. Wait till you hear what she ate for breakfast.
Did she ask for scrambled eggs?
Never. Plus, long live the king.
My A1C stayed here. It needed to be here.
Ruby's A1C is down with Rybelsus.
My A1C wasn't at goal. Now I'm down with Rybelsus.
Mom's A1C is down with Rybelsus.
A1C down with Rybelsus. In a clinical study, once daily Rybelsus significantly lowered A1C better than a leading branded pill. Rybelsus isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't take Rybelsus if you or your family ever had medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2 or if allergic to it. Stop Rybelsus and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Gallbladder problems may occur. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes. Taking Rybelsus with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
Need to get your A1C down?
A1C down with Ask your healthcare provider about Rybelsus today.
GoldenNuggetCasino.com is excited to introduce Golden Nugget Hyper Strike, where you can win free spins, big multipliers, and payouts up to 2,000 times your wager. Sign up now and we'll match your first deposit up to $1,000 plus 200 free spins. Only at GoldenNuggetCasino.com.
Now, with Lotto.com, any stolen second, any casual mindless scroll, any whatever, has the power to become whenever in just one tap. Welcome to Whenever. Play anytime, anywhere with Lotto.com. And never, whatever, again. Play tonight's Mega Millions jackpot on Lotto.com.
From early mornings to late night dinners and every moment in between, it's always been there for you. Fill it with Bowl and Basket frozen foods. Bowl and Basket for life's recipe. Now at ShopRite.
I want simply to say this.
King Charles's big speech as he takes over the throne, plus new titles revealed and what it means for Harry and Meghan. Next ET.
Tonight at 7:30 on CBS 2.
GoldenNuggetCasino.com is excited to introduce Golden Nugget Megaways. Earn the VIP free spins bonus, big multipliers, and over 117,000 ways to win. Sign up now, and we'll match your first deposit up to $1,000 plus 200 free spins. Only at GoldenNuggetCasino.com.
What are you involved with?
The more you know, the more secrets you'll have to keep.
This path you're walking down ends in darkness.
What did Queen Elizabeth II like to eat? To find out, Anne Mercogliano spoke with her former chef.
Queen Elizabeth's personal chef reveals more than anything else, she loved foods grown on her vast estates.
She loved to be able to sit at the table and tell people, these are from my garden.
Darren McGrady cooked for the Queen for more than a decade. He says the beloved monarch's tastes were simple. Take breakfast, for example.
She asked for scrambled eggs,
Never.
smoked salmon.
The Queen would actually start with some special K cereals.
Lunch was also kept simple.
Lunch would, she'd have some grilled fish, grilled chicken with some vegetables. She didn't have potatoes or any starch, and then some salad.
No surprise, she lived to the age of 96.
And how did Chef Darren land that job? He simply wrote the Queen a letter, and after being invited to the palace for an interview, he was hired. When we come back, some sights and sounds from this historic day for the monarchy.
You had me at Allison 10-speed transmission. Premium features available on GMC Sierra Heavy Duty. Step up to GMC with 0% financing on Sierra Heavy Duty models. GMC, we are professional grade.
Hi, this is Lisa from 4Imprint. Yes, I'd like 50 welcome wows, 300 customer I love it, and 200 team member oh yes.
Certainly.
You know we got some brand new woohoo shoes.
Dial up the wow factor with promotional products from 4imprint. We specialize in awesome items that are certain to awe and guaranteed to deliver some ooh yes. From apparel, backpacks, drinkware to high-tech items. Wow.
I love it. Woohoo!
Go to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4imprint, for certain.
Long live the new king. Next.
Travel consideration provided by...
With less moderate to severe eczema, why hide your skin if you can help heal your skin from within?
Hide my skin? Not me.
Dupixent helps keep you one step ahead of eczema with clearer skin and less itch. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your doctor about Dupixent.
Stay tuned. There's more Inside Edition to come.
The door to an empire of play is open, people. Come on in. Just wipe your feet. With the Caesars Sportsbook and Casino app, you have an entire casino right on your phone. How'd they do that? Magic, probably. And with Caesars Rewards, every time you play in the app, you earn toward exclusive perks, like fancy hotel stays, dining, that looks good, concert tickets, and more. Oh, look, Caesar. The Caesars Sportsbook and Casino app. Download it and play and earn like a Caesar.
Comfort is for every room in your home and everyone. When you take steps to improve your energy efficiency, you can enjoy all your favorite spaces just a little bit more. A home energy assessment is a great place to start. PSCNG offers expert advice to identify energy-saving opportunities in every room, and we'll help you pick the home energy assessment that's right for you. That's relaxation just the way you like it. Brought to you by PSCNG.
This is Lee Zeldin, the Republican nominee for governor. And on the day our capital was attacked, a day that led to the deaths of 5 brave police officers, Zeldin still voted to overturn the election. But that's not all. Zeldin celebrated Roe v. Wade being struck down and has supported abortion bans so cruel toward women, they include no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the mother. Because Lee Zeldin is extreme and dangerous.
Finally today, inside London's St. Paul's Cathedral was the first official performance of God Save the King. The end of one era and the beginning of a new one. That's Inside Edition for today. I'm Deborah Norville. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again next time.